All right, get ready for some tough love today. The kind that might just change your whole trajectory.
Oh, I love tough love.
We're diving deep into advice from Dan Martell.
Uh-huh.
He's a 44-year-old entrepreneur,
Yeah.
and he's looking back and offering some seriously blunt insights.
I like how you put that, blunt insights.
So we're not just summarizing,
Yeah.
we're going to dissect the why
Yes.
and how you can apply this stuff.
Right now.
Like right now in your life.
Exactly.
Dan kicks things off with self-mastery.
Okay.
And one thing that jumped out at me
Mm-hmm.
was routine, like serious routine.
Okay.
He's all about waking up and going to bed at the same time every single day.
Every day. Same time.
Now, I got to admit, I'm a bit of a spontaneity person.
Oh, I see.
So I get the resistance to that kind of structure.
I get it.
But I've also noticed when I'm inconsistent,
Mm-hmm.
it throws me off
Yeah.
big time.
You know, it's funny how we underestimate that.
Totally.
Like the power of a consistent schedule, you know? It's not just about discipline, though. It's about setting yourself up to perform at your best.
Yes.
Think of it like training.
Like an athlete.
Yeah, like getting your body and mind in sync.
In sync.
So you have that energy when you really need it.
So it's less about rigidity then,
Exactly.
and more about creating a structure that actually helps you achieve your goal.
Exactly. Fuels your goals.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
And speaking of fueling,
Okay.
Dan doesn't hold back on the connection between physical health
Oh, yeah.
and success.
Huge.
He uses this analogy.
Okay. Let's hear it.
He says, most people treat their body like a beat-up car,
Oh, wow.
not like the $1 million thoroughbred horse it actually is.
That is powerful imagery right there.
Right.
It makes you think, huh?
It does.
Like, what are you putting into your system?
Yeah.
Not just food, but everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Are you giving yourself what you need to perform at your best?
To really thrive.
Or are you expecting, I don't know, like peak performance from a neglected engine?
Totally. Running on fumes.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
That hits home for sure.
It does.
Because it's easy to neglect the basics.
It is, especially when you're busy.
Yeah.
But neglecting your health is like,
Sabotage.
yeah, exactly.
Now here's something that really intrigued me.
Okay.
Dan's concept of friendventory.
Friendventory.
Yeah.
I like it.
He's talking about like actively evaluating
Mm-hmm.
the people you hang out with
Makes sense.
and their impact on you,
Yeah, on your energy, on your goals.
on everything.
Because we really underestimate that sometimes.
We do.
Like the influence of our social circles.
It's huge.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Are the people you're spending time with, are they lifting you up?
Good question.
Or are they dragging you down?
Dragging you down.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
And are they inspiring you to grow?
To be better,
Or are they draining your energy?
vampires.
Yeah, he calls them energy vampires.
I love that. And he's not afraid to say
Nope.
that sometimes letting go,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's a long-standing relationship,
It's tough.
it is.
But sometimes it's crucial
It is.
for your own growth.
It can be.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had experiences where
Yeah.
walking away from friendships, hard as it was,
Yeah.
ultimately opened up space for
Better connection.
more positive, more supportive people.
What's interesting about this whole friendventory thing
Yeah.
is like reframing relationships.
Like an investment.
Yes, like an investment.
Right.
You wouldn't keep putting money into a failing business, right?
Right.
So why would you pour your time and energy?
Into a relationship that's hurting you.
Exactly, hindering your progress.
So it's not about being cold or heartless.
No.
It's about being smart,
It is.
intentional with your energy.
Yes, and Dan also talks about setting standards.
Oh, yeah.
Like clear standards in all your relationships.
Not just romantic ones.
Right, all of that.
And communicating your preferences.
Being honest about what works for you and what doesn't.
He uses this example
Okay.
of dealing with people who are always late.
Oh, yeah, I know some people like that.
Right.
Drives me crazy.
Instead of just accepting it,
Mhm.
he says, speak up.
Set a boundary,
Exactly.
which can be hard,
It can be.
but so important.
It is.
It's about taking control of your experiences.
Owning your time.
Yeah, because so often we just passively accept stuff.
We do.
Behaviors that drain us.
Disrespect our time.
Exactly, but real confidence comes from asserting your needs
Setting those boundaries.
and not being afraid to walk away.
Ooh, that's powerful.
If it's not working for you.
So important.
It's not being demanding or controlling. It's
Right.
about respecting yourself.
Enough to say, this isn't okay with me.
Exactly.
I love that.
And, you know, Dan also pushes us to think differently
Oh, yeah.
about setbacks and challenges.
Mm-hmm.
He believes the obstacles are inevitable,
They are.
but it's how we perceive them
Okay.
that determines our success.
So mindset is key.
Huge.
Okay.
He talks about this idea of leveling up,
Leveling up.
where challenges often pop up.
Right before a breakthrough.
Exactly, like the universe is testing you,
Testing you, yeah.
making sure you're ready for that next level.
So instead of seeing setbacks as roadblocks,
Yeah.
we should be seeing them as
To learn, to adapt.
to come back stronger.
I like that.
It's about shifting your perspective
From why is this happening to me?
to what can I learn from this?
That's a good one.
And I find this next concept really fascinating.
Okay, lay it on me.
It's called blissful dissatisfaction.
Blissful dissatisfaction. I've never heard that.
It's like being grateful for what you have,
Okay.
but at the same time,
Still wanting more.
yes, striving for more.
So you're content, but ambitious.
Exactly, finding that balance.
I love that.
It's like walking a tightrope.
A tightrope between appreciation and aspiration.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's where the magic happens.
It makes me wonder how you typically handle setbacks, dear listener.
Yeah, good question for the listeners.
Do you let them derail you?
Totally derail you.
Or do you find a way to reframe them?
Use them as fuel to move forward.
Because how you answer that can really shape your whole journey.
Absolutely.
Now, Gann also gets into some really practical stuff,
Okay, I like practical.
like immediately applicable stuff.
Let's hear it.
For instance, he's a big believer in seeking advice only from,
Hold on, only from.
only from people who have achieved what you desire.
I see people who've actually done it.
Exactly.
Not just talk about it.
Right.
Makes sense.
It seems obvious, right?
It does.
But think about it.
yeah.
How often do we go to people for advice who haven't actually walked the path?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
We get advice from people who haven't run a marathon
Right.
to coach us through running a marathon.
Their advice might be well-intentioned,
Oh, for sure.
but they don't have that experience
I don't have the context.
to give truly valuable guidance.
Right, they haven't been through it.
And on a similar note,
Okay.
he stresses the power of saying no.
No is a complete sentence.
Yes, he says that.
I love that.
No is a complete sentence.
You don't owe anyone an explanation.
You don't.
You don't have to apologize for
Not
setting boundaries.
It's about protecting your time
Your energy.
and your energy.
It can be so freeing.
It is, especially for people pleasers.
Oh, tell me about it.
It's recognizing that every time you say yes
Yeah.
to something you don't really want.
You're saying no to something that does matter.
Exactly.
It's about choice.
Yes.
Choosing how to spend your most valuable resource.
Your time.
Exactly.
Speaking of choices,
Yeah.
Dan challenges us to look at our calendars
Oh, boy.
and our commitments
Mm.
with a critical eye.
Okay.
Are they aligned with our values and priorities?
Oh, good question.
Or are we scattered?
Just scatter.
Our
Like,
energy all over the place?
on things that don't matter.
Yeah, things that don't move us forward.
He encourages us to be ruthless,
Ruthless?
eliminating distractions,
Things that don't serve our goals.
or bring us joy.
It's about simplifying
Creating space.
for what matters.
This leads to one of his most powerful statements.
Oh, I love his quotes.
He says, "Don't dim your light to make other people feel comfortable
Wow.
if your authenticity
Your brilliance.
makes others uncomfortable."
That's their problem.
Yeah, not yours.
So good.
He's telling us to embrace our individuality,
Let our true selves shine,
even if it ruffles some feathers.
because the right people,
We'll be drawn to that light.
not repelled by it.
Exactly.
And that's true confidence, right?
It is.
Not needing validation.
Nope.
Owning your gifts.
Sharing them with the world.
So powerful.
With.
Dan's advice is like a wake-up call.
It is.
It's making me examine everything.
Me too.
My habits, my relationships, even my definition of success.
It's incredible how a few simple truths
They really can.
can shift your whole perspective.
Yeah, they really can.
And as we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
there are a few more gems from Dan's wisdom that I want to share.
Oh, I can't wait.
Get ready for more tough love.
Bring it on.
Welcome back.
All right, so Dan keeps dropping these wisdom bombs.
He does.
And one that really hit me hard
Okay.
was this question. Why are you not more motivated?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right.
It's a little jarring at first,
It is.
but it makes you think,
It does. Like, whoa.
He's forcing you to confront your level of drive.
Yeah.
Your purpose.
Like, what's your fire?
Exactly.
What gets you out of bed?
Because without a clear sense of purpose,
Yeah.
it's easy to just drift,
Drift through life.
feeling unfulfilled,
Yeah, lost.
Dan calls this driving force your primary aim.
Primary aim. I like that.
He believes it's essential.
For real fulfillment.
Yes, it's like having that North Star.
Guiding your decisions.
Your action.
I know for me,
Yeah.
having a strong sense of purpose has made all the difference
Huge difference.
in overcoming challenges,
Staying motivated.
especially when things get tough.
It's like that internal compass.
Yeah.
Keeps you on track.
Even when life throws you curveballs.
Right. Speaking of challenges,
Okay.
Dan has some interesting thoughts on learning.
Ooh, I love learning.
He encourages us to shift from passively reading books
Passively, yeah.
to actively studying them.
Ooh, that's interesting.
So it's not just about consuming information.
Right.
It's about internalizing it,
Applying it.
making it your own.
I used to be a chronic book starter.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Highlight passages, get all inspired.
Then on to the next one.
Yeah. Next shiny object.
But real transformation comes from putting that knowledge into practice,
Experimenting.
making it your own.
Embodying it.
It's about going beyond theory and into action.
Yes. Action is key.
And it's not just about what we learn, it's about how we interact with others.
Okay. How so?
Dan emphasizes assuming positive intent.
Positive intent, even when...
And when people aren't showing us their best side.
Okay, that's tough sometimes.
It is, but it's a powerful practice.
Especially in today's world.
Where negativity is everywhere.
He uses this example.
Oh, I like examples.
Someone cutting you off in traffic.
Classic.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of getting angry.
Road rage.
Yeah, he suggests considering.
Okay.
Maybe they're dealing with an emergency.
Okay.
Maybe there's a legitimate reason.
You don't know their story.
Exactly.
Of course, it doesn't mean condoning bad behavior.
No, of course not.
But it does encourage us to pause.
Before reacting.
Yeah. Choose compassion over judgment.
Because often there's a story we don't know.
There is.
A reason behind the behavior.
There's nothing to do with us.
So extend grace.
Yeah, understanding.
Remembering everyone's fighting their own battles.
Exactly. And speaking of battles,
Oh,
Dan uses the airplane analogy.
put your own mask on first.
Exactly,
Yeah.
before helping others.
It's a classic.
It is, but it's so true.
We need to take care of ourselves
We do.
in order to help others.
Because it's easy to fall into that trap
Of giving and giving.
until you're depleted.
Yeah, you're running on empty.
And that doesn't help anyone.
No, it doesn't.
But when you prioritize your well-being,
Yeah,
you can show up for others.
in a more meaningful way.
It's like filling your own cup first.
I love that analogy.
So you have something to pour from.
And sometimes taking care of ourselves means
What?
facing our fears.
Oh, yeah.
Dan actually says, seek out problems, don't avoid them.
Wait, what?
He says, the quality of your life, the size of your life,
Okay.
is correlated to the size of problems you have in your life.
That's interesting.
Right.
It's like counterintuitive.
It is.
But he's saying that growth comes from stretching ourselves,
Reaching our boundaries.
tackling those challenges.
That take us out of our comfort zone.
If you're only solving small problems,
Yeah.
you're only going to have small victories.
So embrace the discomfort.
Yeah, as a catalyst for growth.
I've had to confront my fear of failure
We all have.
so many times.
But pushing through those moments
Yeah.
leads to the greatest achievements.
It does. It's like
that fear is a sign
a sign of what?
that you're on the right track.
Okay.
You're stepping outside that comfort zone.
Into the unknown.
And sometimes growth means letting go.
Letting go of what?
Be old.
To make space for the new.
Exactly. Dan puts it bluntly.
Okay.
Your new life will cost you your old one.
Whoa, that's deep.
It's powerful.
Letting go can be hard.
It can be those familiar patterns,
Yeah.
relationships, even beliefs that don't serve you anymore.
I've gone through periods of shedding,
Shedding, yeah.
like old identities, friendships.
To make space for who you're becoming.
It wasn't easy,
It's not supposed to be easy.
but it was necessary.
It's like a metaphorical shedding of skin.
A transformation
Yeah, releasing what's no longer serving you.
to embrace your full potential.
And that potential often unfolds over time.
It's a journey.
It is, Dan reminds us.
Uh-huh.
Dedication takes a decade, not a day.
That's a good one.
It's so easy to get caught up.
In the instant gratification thing.
Oh, yeah, expecting overnight success.
But true mastery
Fulfillment.
comes from playing the long game,
Showing up consistently.
even when it's hard.
Even when there are setbacks.
It's about embracing the journey,
the ups and downs.
the lessons learned along the way,
Trusting the process.
that consistent effort over time.
leads to extraordinary results.
And that effort often involves helping others.
It does.
Dan reminds us to treat others how way we want to be treated.
Simple, but powerful.
It's about recognizing our interconnectedness.
Mm.
The energy we put out comes back to us.
Kindness breeds kindness.
Generosity breeds generosity.
Respect breeds respect.
It's like creating a ripple effect.
Starting with our own actions.
And our words.
Because you never know what someone's going through.
You really don't.
A kind word, a compliment,
Could make someone's day.
or even change their life.
It's about being mindful of the power of our words.
To uplift, to inspire.
And sometimes it's about looking inward.
Yeah.
When things aren't going our way.
Yeah.
Dan has this statement. He says,
Oh.
if you keep running into bad people, you may be the problem.
Ouch. But so true.
It's not about blaming yourself,
No.
but recognizing that we have a role to play
I see.
in attracting certain people and situations into our lives.
So if you're surrounded by drama and negativity,
It's worth looking at our own patterns and choices.
taking ownership,
Exactly.
the energy you bring,
To your interaction
the boundaries you set.
and the company you keep.
Speaking of energy,
Yes.
Dan is adamant about avoiding drama and gossip.
Oh, those are energy drainers.
Big time.
Yeah.
He believes successful people,
Yeah.
they're repelled by those things.
Because
They're a waste of time and energy.
I understand that.
They're focused on building, creating, contributing.
Making a difference,
And when fear pops up,
which it always does.
it does, especially when you're growing.
Right.
Dan reminds us,
What's that?
fear gives bad advice.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a reminder that fear is natural,
It's part of growth
but it shouldn't be the driving force.
behind your decisions.
In those moments when fear takes over,
Yeah.
it's helpful to seek out mentors
People you trust
who can offer a different perspective.
help you navigate through the fear.
It's about surrounding yourself with people who believe in you.
People who support your growth.
And remember, it's never too late to change course.
Never too late.
No matter your age or your situation,
It's about making that conscious choice to shift
your mindset,
your habits
your behaviors.
to create the life you want.
And that often starts with letting go
Letting go,
of
again,
the old patterns.
attachments that don't serve you.
Dan encourages us to get rid of our vices,
Vices, okay.
unhealthy habits,
Okay.
toxic relationships,
Yeah.
negative thought patterns.
Anything that's holding us back.
Exactly. And he even challenges our relationship
With what?
with technology.
Oh, technology. Interesting.
He says,
What's he say?
if you're addicted to your phone, your life just isn't interesting enough.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
He's not demonizing technology,
Right.
but encouraging us to be mindful.
Of how we're using it.
Is it a tool that serves you?
Or is it a distraction?
That consumes you.
It's about creating a life so fulfilling
Yeah.
that you don't need to escape into your phone.
A life filled with meaningful connections,
Passionate pursuits.
experiences that light you up.
And speaking of passions,
Yes.
Dan encourages us to
What's that?
take on as much responsibility as you can.
I like that.
He believes saying yes to challenges,
Offering help.
constantly stretching yourself.
That's how you unlock your potential.
It's about embracing that growth mindset.
Seeing every experience as an opportunity to learn
But expand
and taking ownership of your life.
without blaming others.
Right. He says,
Yeah.
don't blame anybody else but yourself.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It's not about guilt or shame. It's about recognizing that you have the power
To choose your response,
to create change
own your
for the
choices,
good and the bad.
and use them to learn and grow.
And while it's crucial to take responsibility,
Yeah.
it's equally important to cultivate gratitude.
For what you have.
Yes, while still striving for more.
That's blissful dissatisfaction.
Exactly, that sweet spot.
Content yet hungry.
Grateful yet ambitious.
It's a beautiful paradox.
It is.
Appreciating the present while being driven by a vision for the future.
And that vision often requires us to be intentional
Intentional with what?
with your time and energy.
Oh yeah, time is precious.
Dan reminds us, make time for what matters.
It's so easy to get caught up in the busyness.
It is, but if you truly value something,
Or relationships.
your health,
Your passions.
you have to make it a priority.
It's about aligning your actions with your values.
Making sure your time and energy are invested in the right things.
The things that truly matter.
And that includes investing in relationships.
With people who inspire us.
Exactly. Dan shares this insight about respect.
Okay, I love his insights on respect.
He says, respect comes from admiration, not fear.
Ooh, I like that.
It's about surrounding yourself,
With people who lift you up,
who challenge you to grow
who you admire.
for their character, their contributions,
True respect is earned,
through admiration.
not commanded through fear.
This resonates with me deeply.
Me too.
It's about choosing relationships based on mutual respect
Admiration.
and a shared desire for growth.
Dan's advice has been so eye-opening.
It has.
It's made me really think about my own.
What, like your habits?
Yeah, my habits, my relationships,
Your whole approach.
even my definition of success.
It's amazing how a few simple truths
It really can.
shift everything.
Yeah.
As we wrap up our deep dive
Mm.
into Dan's wisdom, there are a few more nuggets I want to highlight.
Okay, bring 'em on.
One that really resonated with me
Yeah.
is his focus on applying knowledge.
Not just reading it.
Exactly. Says stop reading books.
Okay.
Start studying them.
Oh, I love that.
It's so easy to just passively consume.
Highlight, underline.
Yeah, feel inspired.
But then
Nothing changes.
nothing changes.
Right.
Dan wants us to be active participants.
In our own growth.
Yes.
To really extract those key insights.
And then
Experiment. Try them out.
turn knowledge into wisdom.
Exactly.
And that wisdom often shows up in how we treat others.
It does.
Dan emphasizes this idea of
Right.
assuming positive intent,
Oh, yeah, even when
people are being difficult.
because you rarely have the full picture.
You really don't.
He uses that example again.
Traffic.
Yeah, someone cutting you off.
Instead of,
Rage.
road rage. Instead of that,
Consider maybe they have a reason.
an emergency.
Yeah, something you don't know about.
There's always more to the story.
There is.
And sometimes
Yeah.
we need to extend that same compassion
To ourselves.
That's so important. Dan's airplane analogy, remember,
Put your own mask on first.
before helping others.
We have to take care of ourselves.
We do.
To really be there for others.
Because you can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly. And that self-care can sometimes mean,
Saying no.
oh, yes, setting those boundaries.
Protecting our energy.
Dan reminds us the word no is a complete sentence.
We don't owe explanations
Or apologies.
for setting boundaries.
It's about reclaiming your power.
Yes.
Choosing how you spend your energy.
And sometimes
Sometimes.
that means embracing discomfort.
Oh, yeah. Getting uncomfortable.
Stepping outside our comfort zones.
Dan challenges us. Look for problems, don't avoid them.
Whoa, really?
He believes our biggest growth
Comes from
tackling those challenges.
being the tough stuff.
The things that stretch us.
It's a mindset shift.
It is, from problems as obstacles,
To problems as
opportunities.
opportunities for growth.
And that growth often involves letting go.
Letting go of what?
Old pattern.
Relationships that no longer serve you.
Yeah.
Beliefs that hold you back.
He puts it bluntly.
Your new life will cost you your old one.
It's a reminder that growth can be
Messy.
messy, uncomfortable,
It might mean shedding parts of yourself.
making hard choices.
But on the other side of that discomfort,
What's there?
a life that's more aligned with who you truly are.
Authenticity.
Yes. And a key part of that alignment
Okay.
is what Dan calls blissful dissatisfaction.
That's a good one.
It's about being content,
Well,
but still striving for more.
that balance.
Gratitude and ambition,
Recognizing you can appreciate what you have.
while still reaching for more.
And that vision for more.
It becomes clear when you understand
Yeah.
life is a mirror, not a window.
I love that. What does that mean?
It means the world reflects back to us.
What, like our belief?
Our beliefs, our attitudes, our behaviors.
So if we want to change our reality,
We have to start with ourselves.
big ownership.
Of our thoughts, our actions, our choices. We have the power
We do.
to shape our lives.
And that power often comes down to
Choices.
choices, yeah.
How we spend our time.
Our energy.
Dan reminds us,
Make time for what matters.
it's so easy to get sidetracked.
It is. But if something is truly important,
Relationships, health, passions.
you have to prioritize it.
Put it in the schedule.
Align your actions with your values.
Make sure your time and energy are going towards.
The things that truly matter.
And that includes relationships.
Relationships built on respect.
Mutual respect.
Admiration.
Dan has that great insight about respect.
What's that?
He says, respect comes from admiration, not fear.
Surround yourself with people who inspire you,
Who you look up to.
who challenge you to grow.
People you admire.
That's where true respect comes from.
It's earned, not demanded.
Exactly.
Well, this has been quite a journey.
It has Dan's 40 brutal truths.
Brutal, but so insightful.
They make you think.
They do.
I hope you're feeling motivated.
To apply some of this wisdom,
Even small changes
consistently applied.
can lead to big results.
And if you're looking for more inspiration
More guidance.
on your personal growth journey,
Check out
the Angie Podcast.
on TikTok and YouTube.
We got tons of great content to help you level up your life.
And if you're enjoying the show,
And want to support us?
head over to our website,
at https://angieselfdevelopmentandmotivationpodcast.buzzsprout.com.
Your support helps us keep creating this content.
Until next time, keep diving deep.
And keep striving for that blissful dissatisfaction.
See you next time.